So if you were on my Twitter, I don't know, maybe like a couple of weeks back, I mentioned just absolutely out of nowhere that I went to a nudist beach, and I went there because fuck it, let's just. There's this idea in people's minds about what it's going to be, and I wanted to just be like, I've never been to one, so I just wanted to have this experience and see if it aligns with the way that I understand it, the way that other people understand it, or if this is sort of one of those things where, because most people haven't done it, they've got this misconception in their head, or they've seen what it's like in movies and sort of think that's exactly what it's going to be like. And I think in some ways that's definitely going to be true. There are definitely let's just say degenerates. We'll say degenerates. That go there. Mostly old men in that case. We'll get into those stories. But there's also a complete misunderstanding about the sort of people that go. Before we get to that, there actually is one. There's one hilarious story that happened on my way there. So the beach I went to is a beach called MacLeod Beach. This, from my understanding, was the first nudist beach in Australia. It's sort of the most famous here, and just as a beach, it's actually a really pretty beach. There's two sections. You have the clothes section and the clothing optional section. It's a very beautiful beach. Even if you just go down to like the regular beach section, it's absolutely worth it. Crystal clear water, beautiful sand, these beautiful mountaintops behind you. Great place to go. But on my way there, I've never seen this before. There was this pickup truck, this ute, whatever you want to call it. And I noticed a big sticker it had on its rear window. And also the number plate. This is how dedicated this person was to doing this. It was OnlyFans and then the person's OnlyFans account. And their number plate was also, like, it was a custom number plate with their OnlyFans name on it. And you know what? I fully respect the hustle. That is such a god tier hustle. If that's what you're gonna do, look, it's much better than being like, I'm gonna have a bot that posts on Instagram. I'm gonna jump into like Elon Musk's replies and post about my OnlyFans. Like, you're gonna go hard with it. You want everybody to know. Like, this person, everybody in their life is fully aware, 100% fully aware they have an OnlyFans account. Look, I can only respect that. Absolutely. And, I did a bit of searching and found out what the account was. She does pretty well. Like, not like a multiple millions a month, but like a well-known name that clearly makes a lot of money, and for good reason, for very good reason. She's got the commodity that is worth a lot on OnlyFans. There's only one commodity, which is, you can work it out. But yeah, that happened before I got there. So when you get there, there's like two sections. You have way down the other side, the clothes section, then you have the nudist section. There's two different parking spots as well, so people don't get like mixed up between the two, which, is great. Also, it means that there is plenty of parking. The nudist section, it doesn't have like so it's a parking area where they don't have lined out parking spots. It's just this big zone. So it's sort of just like gentlemen's parking. Don't park too far away from someone. Don't park in the middle. Park along the sides. and everyone will be good. And it seemed like that worked out pretty well. The issue is once you get there. Because on this side, there is a very big walk down. So you're on these cliff tops, and there's maybe a couple 100 meters of stairs. Now, the going down part is... it's not great, but it's fine. The going up part is the problem, because they're really steep stairs, and there's a lot of them. So, that was fun. And I was going there by myself, so I had to carry all my stuff down myself. What I should have done is I should have done like 2 trips rather than carrying everything down, because I had like an umbrella, a chair, and like an esky, a cooler, or whatever you want to, a thing with ice that has drinks in it, whatever you call those in your region. So we get down to the beach, and the first thing that I was surprised by was firstly, the age and the gender distribution. In your head, you probably have this idea that a nudist beach is going to be like primarily, 50, 60, 70-year-old men. Maybe they're gonna have like their 60, 70-year-old wives there. And absolutely, those people were there. But this is the thing that I was very surprised about. If I was to give it like percentages, maybe like... I'm probably not going to work out the percentages exactly, but, we're going to go to like 110. Maybe like 20%... 20%, like just old dudes there by themselves. Not all old dudes. Some of them were like in their 30s, so like a bit older than me. Dudes there by themselves, just chilling, doing what dudes do. Hang out with your cock out or whatever. Then there was also a lot of like old... we're not gonna do percentages because that's too hard. There was also a lot of those like couples there that were older couples. But surprisingly, a lot of couples around my age, like not always like in their 20s, but like 30s, late 20s, surprising amount. Maybe if we're gonna do percentages, maybe like 30 or so percent. And then like maybe an extra like 10% just girls there by themselves. Like around, not like really old, there were definitely those, but like around my age. Like, it's not... maybe this was the case in the past, and maybe this is the case for certain beaches out there, but at least in the case of MacLeod, it was, like, if we went just, like, break it down between the men and the women, maybe, like, 30 or 35 to 40% women, which I was really not expecting, like, at all. I had that same impression in my head that it was going to be just all men, but no, it definitely was not that at all. And, like, a lot of attractive people there as well. Like, you also have this idea, as I said, you have this idea there's going to be just old, wrinkly men, but it really wasn't, which was surprising to me. I just basically chilled there all day, just chilling, basically. Like, yeah, you know what? This is good. I have my umbrella here. I have some creaming soda, and we're gonna drink this and maybe read a book. But there were definitely some characters there. We'll start with we'll leave the degenerate till the end. Actually, there's a couple of those. We'll go with the weird people that are just purely weird. They'd be weird everywhere, but they wouldn't be a criminal. So it being a clothing option area, you can wear pants, you can wear a shirt, you can wear nothing. Do whatever you want. I saw this guy. He had this bag, and he was like moving it back and forth along the water. And I went up to this dude and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" because he also fully clothed, socks on, standing in the water. He was standing in the water with socks on. That by itself is enough to ask, are you alright? What the hell are you doing? He told me, I am looking for worms. Now, I don't know where he was going to find worms there, because there were no worms here. I don't know what he was doing, but hey, go ahead. This is also not like a fishing beach, because, you know, there's people that cocks out and there's swimmers everywhere. So I don't know what he was doing with the worms, but he was collecting worms, apparently. I don't know if he found any, but he was collecting worms. Then there was this dude in full-on, like, not scuba gear, like full-on head-to-toe wetsuit, had flippers on, and I was like, okay, sure, maybe he's gonna go, like, swimming, scuba diving, whatever. I noticed he had, what do you call it, like a metal detector? Is that it? Yeah, metal detector. Metal detector. Yeah, he had a metal detector. That's what I'm thinking of. So I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna look for coins or something. But why do you have why the fuck do you have a wetsuit on? What is going on? So I went up to this guy as well, like, hey, what's going on here? What do you got? What do you got going on today, mate? He told me he was looking for gold. He's like, you're looking for gold, are you? Have you ever found any? His answer, no. I was like, all right. So why do you do it? I just do it. Fucking great conversation, mate. Absolute great conversation. So yeah, he was going to be not looking on the sand. He pulled out like a pair of goggles and what do you call the thing where you like the straw where you breathe through it, whatever that thing is. So he was gonna be like swimming along the top of the water looking for gold. Now, that's fine. You can look for gold there. I don't know why you're doing that, but hey, good on you. Good on you, mate. Actually, before we get to the degenerates, I did meet this. I think they were probably in their like 30s or 40s or something. I don't. Not like super old couple. They're playing. Is it Horseshoe? Is that the game? Where you like throw the thing. It's probably got different names in different regions. You like throw the horseshoe or throw the other thing, and you like get it on the pole. There was this couple playing that. I noticed them playing. I was like, hey, let's just stop in and see what they're doing here. And the second I stopped there, the wife instantly scored and instantly won the round. It's like, hey, you're good luck, stick around. So I just stuck around for like the entire next round, and she ended up losing. But they were a nice couple, like cool people. The dude was like fucking bright red, like head to toe, so clearly was not wearing sunscreen. But it seemed like he was like fairly, you know, often out here, so he was probably doing that all the time, and was probably like burnt to a crisp anyway. There was definitely a lot of people out there who I don't think have ever worn sunscreen in their entire life, and were just burnt to a crisp. Like, you could tell that, you know, if these people didn't go outside all the time, they would be the whitest of white people. But they live on this beach and are just burnt to hell, which is probably not good for skin cancer. And Australia has really high rates of skin cancer, so I didn't want to do that. I had sunscreen on. Head to toe sunscreen. Missed my back. So my back got burnt. I also missed a bit of my butt. So, yeah, I had a bit of a burnt butt. The burnt butt was actually the problem, because, you know, you sit on your butt. But, hey, that was my fault. I shouldn't have, I should have been Like, I should have just double checked. It's between, like, my shoulder blades here, that bit where it's, like, really, you like, do this to fucking reach it, and, it's a pain in the ass. For anyone just listening, that area between both your shoulder blades where there's not really any convenient way to, like, put sunscreen there by yourself. There's probably, like, a tool you can get or something that helps out with that, but without doing that, it's kind of a pain. Now, onto the bad part. So all of that stuff was great. I met, like, some cool people, a lot of attractive people there, surprisingly so. Beach is beautiful, great to be out in the sun. Now to get to the problem. So the nudist section is it's split into two parts. It's not split into it, like, intentionally. This seems to just be a natural split. So you have, when you come down the stairs, the side to the right, which goes down towards the clothes section. So when you get to the clothes section, there's, like, a sign there, after this point, wear clothes. When you're on that side, everything chill. All normal people, just couples and all that. On the other side, this is where you can get the idea of a really bad reputation that this can have. Because there are definitely people down there that are there for, like, not the best of intentions. It's one thing to be like, hey, look at that. Attractive person. Check him out. Whatever. That's one thing. It's another thing when, you're straight up, like, just jacking off. And there was definitely some of that down that side. Dudes who'd walk by and it's like, whoa, just fucking shrook a little bit, eh? And it's just like, think you can't see it or whatever. You're just like, mate, I have fucking peripheral vision. I can see what you're doing right now. Don't fuck with me. And you keep going down further. So that area has, like, this big cliff section. It has this section of rocks where, like, you can walk around this corner. And every so often, I would see guys walk around this corner. Now, I didn't actually check what was going on there, but I can have I have a pretty good assessment based on what was happening at another slightly hidden location. So this is where you get into the weird, dirty old man thing. There was this dude who he got up, walked behind this, so there's this big rock. It's like, maybe 5'8", whatever. It's 5'9", close to 6 foot. So most people could probably, like, sit behind it and you wouldn't really be seen. This guy was, like, fucking poking his head over. So you know what? Look, I'm gonna go check out what's going on here. This dude behind the rock, straight up just going at it. Like, going at it hard. Checking out everybody walking by. Fucking full on, stroking the chicken. And he stayed there for, like, 5 minutes or so, and then walked back out. He just fucking goes nuts on the beach. So that, is obviously a crime. Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. So you are going to have... There is definitely going to be this... There is going to be partially a bad experience. And, the reputation that a place like this has isn't entirely unfounded. But down the normal section where all of the regular people are that aren't criminals, aren't sex predators, that's a great part. And I think if you were to stick down somewhere like that, you would have a great experience regardless of who you are. Whether you go by yourself, go as, like, a couple, go with some mates or whatever. That I think is good. And I don't know if I can recommend the experience for everyone just because of that that weird section that is there. But I think if stuff like that doesn't, like, look, I'm not that bothered by it, like, whatever. Do what you're going to do. I didn't see anyone taking pictures, so there is that. So I'm absolutely sure there are people that fall into that category. There have been people arrested at that specific beach doing that. I didn't see any of that activity happening. But considering what I did see, there's definitely going to be some of that. And I wouldn't be surprised if if there was something going on that I didn't see. I think if you're not particularly bothered by that and you can, like, it's not a big deal to you or whatever, I think it's worth at least trying it out. Because I don't know, I can see why people go to a beach like that. Like, it's nice to just be able to go to the beach and just chill completely naked. Like, there's something nice about that. Maybe it's not for everyone. I totally get that, but I don't think you can really say that it's not for you if you've never done it. I get, like, being averse to it and kind of like, do I want to do that? Do I not? But before you say that I never want to go do that, at least go down there, like, fully clothed, because you can do that. Like, there's nothing stopping you. At least go, like, experience what it's like being in an environment like that, and then decide whether it's going to be something you want to get involved in. Yeah, I think that's the best way I can say it. Just try it out, and hopefully you don't find anyone who's, staring at you and jacking off. But maybe you will, and, maybe you're into that. But I guess that's just you. That is, look, if this podcast was monetized, and, like, the clips were monetized, that is where the monetization would stop. With that segment, zero monetization. The second I start talking about dudes, like, who see you and start jacking off to you, that's where the monetization just ends. Zero monetization. Actually, look, if that clip does not get age restricted, I'm going to be very, very surprised.